This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, we're going to be reading some melodies together written in tablature. We'll be jamming, you, me, and the band, because I've got the band track I recorded for us to play these melodies over the top of, which is so much fun. Now, we're staying on the top 3 strings of the guitar right now as we're reading these tablature melodies, and in open position, or first position, which means we use the open strings and frets 1, 2, 3, and 4. So some fun melodies happening, and as of the last video, we're starting to get some eighth notes and more complicated rhythms in with our melodies, which is so much fun. This video does accompany the Tablature book from my Method Book series. So if you have that book, you're going to want to turn to pages 30 and 31. We're going to be playing melodies 35, 36, 37, and 38 from those pages, which is going to be so fun. Now, before we play those melodies together, I want to introduce a concept to you of swung versus even eighth notes. So in that last video, we talked through how to play some different rhythms, worked on some different rhythms together to kind of build up that intuitive side of playing rhythms. When we're using the tablature, we're mostly trying to use the intuitive side of learning music. We're listening and trying to mimic what we hear. So you use that tablature to help you know where to put your fingers on the guitar, but mostly you want to try and listen to how I'm playing the melody and play it as much like I am as you can. But it helps to understand a little bit of these concepts. So swung versus even eighth notes. With eighth notes, for example, we can have even eighth notes or straight eighth notes. It means they get the exact same amount of time every eighth note does, whether it's on the beat or on the offbeat. So like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. What happens with swung eighth notes is there's a delay to the entrance of those that are on the offbeat. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I count it in triplets because there is a lot of times a tripletized feel to swung eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and they can actually be swung even harder and pushed further back into the beat. But that delay, there's really just a delay. That's what you want to feel. And you can practice that if you want. Now, I talked about doing alternate picking in the last video. It's great with eighth notes to work alternate picking. Let's do just a little exercise to work the even eighth notes versus the swung eighth notes. Depending on the groove of a song, we will interpret what's written as swung or even when it comes to those eighth notes. And so it's good to just have a feel for both in our right and left hands. We can use the same kind of coordination exercises that I've introduced previously. So for example, we can use that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 exercise. Let's start with 4 plucks per note, just on that high strings with even eighth notes, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. So we go ready, and we'd have. Of course, you could repeat that exercise on all the other strings. I'm not going to for time's sake with us here together in this video. But let's go ahead and do 2 plucks, doing the same thing, 2 plucks per note. We go ready and. Now let's do 3 plucks per note. Now, if you're working the alternate picking, that's going to mean going down, up, down, up, down, up as you switch. If you're doing all down plucks, then it doesn't really change anything. Just do three plucks per note. But we go ready and. Added in some extra notes there, but we had the down, up, down, and then I needed an up, down to make that feel complete, but that's okay. Now let's do 1 pluck per note. So we go ready and. Okay, so we've done that with even eighth notes. Now let's do it with swung eighth notes. So we want to put a little bit of a delay. So 4 plucks per note, we go ready and. And now let's do 2 plucks per note. So we go ready and... We can do 3 plucks per note. That's a little bit tricky, but we'll do it anyway. Ready and... And then I add a little extra there at the end. Now 1 pluck per note. So that's a great exercise to do. It's even better if you do it on all 6 strings, or at least the top 3 strings that we're working on. So as we play these melodies together, some of them, because of the groove that is accompanying them, they're gonna be played with even 8th notes when we have 8th notes, but some can have swung 8th notes. For example, when we start with Old MacDonald Had a Farm, we're gonna be doing swung 8th notes with that one. So it's going to be super fun. Now, as we jam together, each one of these melodies is going to happen at 2 different tempos. First a slower tempo, and then a faster tempo. And we're just going to play. Now, if there's places as you're playing these melodies where you're tripping, as I've mentioned in previous videos, it's a good idea to pause that video, work out that treble spot, get comfortable with it, and then go back to resume the video and start playing that melody with me. Working it at that slower tempo and then the faster tempo. But it's going to be great. Let's go ahead and play these melodies together. Okay, awesome. I hope you're having fun with this. As we continue with these next videos, we got more great melodies to come, so it's going to be fun. I'll see you again. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.